I actually think it probably has helped our marriage working with each other because of how much we communicate with each other and learn to talk about things.
Welcome to the TCS Women Podcast, where the ladies of the top contractor school are going to get together to discuss what it's like to be a woman in construction, leadership, and navigating the balance between it all. Your host for the TCS Women's Podcast will be Carla Goldammer, who has been in construction for almost 30 years with D&J Site Construction. She will be accompanied by a rotation of co-hosts that include Elizabeth Reinman of RK Reinman Construction, Sandra Albert of Bay Country Contractors, Lillian Calloway of K&L Industries, and Kelsey Wright of Pro Line Parking Lot Maintenance. Let's get started.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining TCS Women Podcast today. I have Kelsey and Liz with me. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good. Kelsey?
Can't complain. I'm here. I'm living.
I don't know about y'all, but Texas is very hot.
Oh, it's just been rainy here. And that's not good because that just delays all of our jobs right now. So wind and rain, not good. How about you in Florida over there?
Oh my gosh, it's hot. It's finally starting to rain a little bit though, so that's nice. Thank God.
Oh, I'll pass you the rain. You can take it.
Really? Yeah. No, I love the summers here because it's like the only time that it rains. We get rainy summers, it cools it down. It only lasts like 5 to 10 minutes, and then the weather's like sunny and hot again, and it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, in South Texas, we haven't had a lot of rain, so we're very dry, very hot, very humid. It's I can't imagine going through the whole summer that way, but we'll see. So one of our topics we want to talk about today is working with your spouse and balancing out being the wife and then going to the office and how it all works for y'all. How about you, Kelsey? You start first.
I'll start first. So Daniel and I have been working together since September now. So at the beginning was a little tough. It's really just trying to figure out how each person works and talks and I guess really communicate with each other. That's not husband and wife. And I'm a very blunt person, and with me and Daniel, I'm very blunt, but I don't think he's ever really seen me how I react with my coworkers. So I think going into it, he thought I was going to be very abrasive and mean to people. Not the case. I'm only mean to him. But it's been a learning curve, and I think we've done a really good job at it. And I actually think it probably has helped our marriage working with each other because of how much we communicate with each other and learn to talk about things. So pretty good so far, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill and I started working together, I think 4 years ago now it was. And it's a crazy story. I went to college for health science and I was working in the medical field, but then finally something opened up with his office, and long story, but I always wanted to be an interior designer, but I'm not going to get into all that, how that all happened. But so once something opened up in his office, it was just like filing and warranty work and other random stuff. I was like, I don't care. If it gets me in, I'm coming. So I put in my 2 weeks notice, and that was obviously just a huge leap of faith. And it's like, you don't know what you're getting into, and either this is going to work out and it's going to be really great, or it's not going to work out and you might have some other things to work out within your relationship after that doesn't work out together. But we were both pretty confident that it would work out and we could figure it out. And like Kelsey said, it was a big learning curve at first because, you've been together in your relationship and you've known each other that way, intimately, but now you have to know each other professionally and learn how to be together professionally. So that was fun. I think overall we did a pretty good job of it. We would butt heads here and there, which is just normal. I think we had one really good blowout fight And then we figured it out after that. It was like one good fiery one. And then after that, we're like, all right, we got it. We figured it out.
I feel like you have to have like one of them. Just
Yeah, you need one good one in the books. You know what I mean? So we did that. That was fun. But honestly, from going into something and it being so scary and like such a huge unknown territory, I can now say it is truly one of my most favorite parts about our relationship, without a doubt. And I couldn't imagine not working together. Like I loved it so much so that I'm even doing it a little bit, now that even after we've had our first child together. I'm still like, I just need a little space where I can still do that and we can still have that part of our relationship and our lives together because it means so much to us both. I just wasn't willing to give it up completely. Mostly, yes, but just still a little bit there. So
I learned a
So
new thing about you now since you said about the health sciences. What did you originally have a degree in, or what did you do in the healthcare?
I was a health science major and I worked in dermatology. I was a medical assistant in dermatology. So from skincare, like actual derm, and then also to cosmetics and the fun stuff. I always wanted to do interior design, but to make a very long story short, I would have had to have moved away to go to college for interior design, and I just moved back home. So I was like,
Mm.
you know what? That's not for me at this time in my life. So I'm going to go with my plan B and be a health science major since I could stay put. So that's what I did and gave it a shot. And then I was like, you know what? No, you should always go for what you're truly passionate about. So, but I'm really thankful for how it all worked out. I think it worked out as it was supposed to. So that was awesome.
So how did you go from the position you started in to the position you're in now?
Oh, that's another story. So I started in the office, like I said, just whatever happened to be available, and I did little bits of everything. I did kind of secretary work up front. I would help the project managers in the field with like odds and ends, little things if they needed stuff emailed to them or whatever. I did warranty work for our completed homes. Um, Stuff with Jenna, helped her with, like her billing and permitting side, just little assistant work there. And then we had a selections coordinator there in the office, and she was there for a very long time, the sweetest woman. I think she was there 8 or 9 years. Just so sweet. She was good at her job, but she had a lot going on in her personal life, and all of a sudden she put in her 2 weeks. And I was like, oh wow, what do you mean Cherie's leaving? Like, what does that mean for everybody here? So she put in her 2 weeks on a Thursday, and then I come into work Friday. No one's in the office. I'm like, this is weird. Usually, like, Cherie's always there. Jenna's usually always there. So I texted Billy. I was like, what, everybody quit? Just being like an asshole, joking around. And he calls me and he's like, yeah, Cherie's not coming back. And I was like, what? What do you mean? So I had to go into her office and literally just figure out her whole position. Luckily, I had a lot of knowledge on interior design already, but she wasn't doing interior design. She was doing other things with the selections, and I had to figure out how her job worked, how it worked with the subcontractors, with our project managers out in the field, within our team, because it is a central hub of our company, that position. Everything revolves around that position and all the information that she has. So it was a lot to learn. I went in the bathroom and I cried because I was scared out of my mind. It's a lot of responsibility. I mean, we have these clients who are building multi-million-dollar homes, and at that time there was like 9 of them, and I had no previous experience. And usually that's something that people work their way up to. They start
Yeah.
small and then they scale up to the homes that we build. No, there was no scaling for me. I was literally just thrown right into the wolves, and Bill was like, well, you're gonna have to figure it out. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I had a full-blown breakdown. And then I was like, all right, well, I could do it. So I walked out of the bathroom and I was like, all right, what do I need to do? And I went through, she had so many binders and so many files, and her desk, it was just stuff everywhere. And I had to go through every single pile, go through all these bids, all this stuff. And I didn't know what so much of this was, at least 50%. And I had to call our subcontractors and be like, look, Sheree left. Tell me, what is our process with you? How does it usually work? Like for our plumbers, what's our process? How do I play a role in this with you? I called every single one of our subcontractors and was like, what do I do for you? How does this work best for you? So our work relationship could be great and I could be as efficient as possible. So that's what I did. And then with the help of our team and the bits that they knew about that job role, they were able to help me out. But ultimately, I literally just kind of, it's like going into a room blindfolded and then just taking it off and saying, figure it out. No pressure. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's how that happened.
Well, I commend you for that. That's a really big task to like take over. But hey, do you have your processes written now? So
I do. I ended up, once I learned the basics of that job role and kind of like put some pieces together, I reinvented the whole wheel. And I made it a lot more efficient, just with technology and stuff like that. So that was really helpful. I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but I definitely took it and ran with it, kind of took it up to the next level. And because of my knowledge with interior design and my love for interior design, I applied that to this role where it wasn't just me going with clients saying, okay, what do you like? Okay, that's what, we'll put that's what we'll install. I'll make sure it's installed correctly and so on. I really kind of took it to the next level, giving them interior design advice and guiding our clients more than they had ever been guided. So it's been really rewarding. I've had clients that are like, I don't even want to fly in for my appointments. I trust you, select everything, FaceTime us, do whatever. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. And now we have Kelly in my place since I'm not able to be there full time with Will. And she's doing an amazing job. So I'm very, very relieved to have found a really great person to take over.
Very cool. Now, Kelsey, the other day I was on social media and I saw a clip of Daniel's podcast, you and him.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think y'all were talking about a process when you first came in.
Oh, yes.
So tell us about that. That's a husband and wife kind of like
Interaction.
I missed it. I didn't see it. What happened?
So he brought up the sales process before I came on, and he's like, yeah, before we used to just basically when I came on, I was like, what do you do? Like, I don't even know what this is, what you have for your sales process. Like, it's confusing. I don't know how to read it. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands right now kind of situation. And I just looked at it, and we use a system called Basecamp, and there's a feature on it that's called cards or stat, I don't know, something like that. And I was just playing around in it. And I was like, we really could use this as a sales pipeline because you can take it and move it down the pipeline kind of situation. And whereas what they were currently doing was just kind of like a to-do list in Basecamp. So like client calls in, they fill out an RFP and they put it on a to-do list, and it's just a never-ending list. And I'm like, how do you find anything on this thing? You can't. And so I put it all together, showed Daniel, and he's like, no, I don't like cards. We don't use them. I don't like them. I'm like, well, how about you just look at it? And so we implemented it, and it's been wonderful. And like what we were talking about on the podcast was that the sales process was a hot mess. And he's like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, no, it was that bad. It was bad. And he's like, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. But basically it kind of came in, saw there was an issue, or to me, it just stressed me out. I'm like, I don't know how you guys function looking at this or see what's going on at all. And me, I'm a visual person, so I like to see things in different categories. All right, this was your estimate. Okay, now I need to do follow-ups. Okay, now the estimate is accepted. So like each person has their own pipeline, their own section, and they're all color coordinated. You can see where everything's holding up. And if I go on Brandon's pipeline, be like, all right, hey, why do you have 6 estimates still in your pipeline for sending out? You should have had this out a long time ago. I can just look at it. I don't have to open up all these tabs. But
Efficiency.
it drove me nuts. I'm like, I don't know how you function. I don't know how you know what's going on. But that was the big thing on the podcast that I was just joking around with him. I'm like, joking because it was funny, but serious because it was a hot mess. But
I'm so serious.
I'm so serious right now. But yeah, that's what I did. But
Yeah, we've honed in a lot of our systems and processes this past year, especially, I've got to say. And I'm OCD for sure. And it makes me so happy. I feel so much more organized. It's so satisfying when you
yes,
implement a new system or a way to do something and you're showing your team, you're like, you see, look, it's a Picasso painting or something.
it's color
magical.
coordinated. There's a
Yeah,
whole
it's magical.
process. It
Everyone
looks
knows what's going on now. Can you believe it? It's like Christmas.
Now, were y'all, okay, let's go pre-professional lives.
Yeah.
Were y'all that way before, like in college and high school, like very organized? Or
An OCD freak? Yes, ma'am. Mhm.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
That's why I'm good at my job, though. Like, so Billy, when he's on my case, would you just like relax it? Or like, it doesn't all have to be put away or all cleaned or anything, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, it does. But it's like, you see, this is why I'm good at my job, because I'm so like structured and organized and it has to be in line. It's great.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
think
way.
I'm more anal with making sure things are like following a process, following this. Daniel's more laissez-faire about it, but he's
Mhm.
the OCD one. He color coordinates my side of the closet. Like he
Interesting. The
So
plot.
how does that flip in professional life, home life and office life with y'all?
Daniel's very cleanly, very organized. Things have a place. You put it away. Like that's what it is at home. At the office, yes, there's a process, but he's more like, yeah, we can go around it. We can do this.
Okay, see, Bill's the opposite. He gets home and it's phone, wallet, keys on the countertop, a briefcase over at the kitchen table, hat off on the couch. Like, who even knows? Like, I keep like the house is so spotless all day, and then he comes home and within 5 minutes, I'm like, what the hell happened around here? Like, I literally went to the bathroom and I came back out and it's like a bomb went off. How do you even manage to do it that quickly? No, but I mean, he does. I'm not trying to totally bash him because he helps me clean a lot. He's great. He gets home and it's like unload everywhere, just blah. Like it drives me nuts. And then at work, he's very like, no, 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 no. Like, okay.
He's relaxed at home.
Yeah, his desk is a mess both places though, at home and in the office. So let's make that clear. It's a disaster. It's a
Like a
disaster.
neat mess or a mess?
Huh?
Like his neat, because mine's messy, but I'm like, don't touch my stacks because I know what's in my stacks.
Yeah, yeah, that's how he is. He knows what's in each stack. Like he claims he has a method. I believe him. I don't.
Madness.
That stresses me out. Like I'm looking at it right now. I'm just like, mm-mm.
Carla, is that you too? You have your little stacks and you're like,
I
if
have
someone
my
messes
stack.
it up.
I'm trying to get away from my stacks and
Folders,
folders, binders.
binders,
I love color coded binders and stuff like that.
yeah, little tab dividers. So
Yep.
satisfying. I label those things. I'm like, yep, it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, I was
See,
just talking. Mark and
we
I were
don't deal with a
talking.
lot of paper.
Huh?
We don't deal with a lot of papers, like binders and stuff and papers. Like we don't have a lot of that. Daniel's like anti-paper, only electronic stuff. But I
Yeah.
guess like blueprints and all this other stuff. And
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of blueprints flying around our office. I took us down a lot in paper. Like when I made this, like I was talking about, like my role more efficient. I eliminated a lot of paper and like a lot of printing and filing. I'm like, well, what are we doing this for? Put it all on the drive. We just keep like final signed off copies of important things, like in clients' binders, just have like hard copies of the important stuff, for quick reference. So it's a whole process.
Carla, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh
What
no,
were you
you're fine. No, you're fine. You're talking about like being home and how do you find yourselves different from the office to home? Like, do you have a work mode that you get in, and then at home, you come home and you have to like change clothes or shower to change modes?
I would say I'm definitely more alpha at work than I am at home. Like at home with, Bill and stuff, like, I don't know, this is gonna sound pretty old school, but like he's the alpha male through and through, and I'm not another strong alpha where we're doing this all the time, like whatever, but at home, at work, I'm definitely a lot more alpha and instructive, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Kelsey? How are you at home versus work?
I'd probably say the same. Truthfully, I just don't want to make decisions when I go home. So like you just decide. I don't want to
Yeah.
think right now. So I would
Yeah.
agree with that. Um,
Yeah.
at work compared to Daniel, again, like I said, sometimes he can be laissez-faire about certain things. I like policies, I like procedures, and to me, that's black and white. So, I mean, I feel like I'm laid back about certain things, but some things are just it's a hard line. So I'm the person to stick with that rather than he is. So I feel like I'm more of that like
Yeah. I feel like
person.
part of the learning curve actually that Bill and I had to learn about each other when we started working together was that at work I became a much more alpha individual, and I don't think he was used to that. I mean, I definitely still have that side of me without a doubt at home, but at work it definitely escalates. So I think he had to learn that part about working with me, because then when you have one alpha and the other alpha, that's when we kind of started butting heads. But we had to learn each other professionally in that way, and then learn to work together and balance it out too. Because at work, when stuff happens or heats up, it's like, or stuff goes on in general, it's different. You're not talking as husband and wife. You're talking about people who, you're talking as people who are running a company, and the language and everything. It changes. So we've talked a lot about that, is the balance, when you're at work, you're working. And I had to work on not taking things personally,
Mm.
to be honest, at work. And so did he. And, and then when you're home, your husband and wife, and like not talk about work and shut it off and so on. Do you
That's
guys ever,
hard to do.
yeah, do you guys ever deal with that, Kelsey?
We have a hard time shutting it off at home work. Due to because we don't have kids. So really, and we don't plan on having any kids. The business is our baby. So like we talk a lot at home because that basically is our life together. That is what we talk about. And I think at the beginning, I think we would say, okay, if we're done talking about it tonight and we'll cut it off. But now I think we've just gotten to the point that's just our regular conversation that we have.
Mhm.
And that's okay. We're both okay with that. It's again though at times when someone's continued talking about it and they're stressed or something like that, that if the other person comes to you and says we're done, like we're no more tonight, like I'm done with that, and you just have to respect that. But as for like hurting feelings or that kind of thing, a lot of that was I did experience that, but a little just more towards how he would speak to others or me that he didn't realize he was doing. And I kind of had to cut that off quickly, or like, hey, just the way you just said that, like you really snapped on this person and I don't think you realized. And so it
Yeah.
was more just that kind of thing. Not saying I'm the perfect one. I'm sure I've snapped on him a lot at work and not meaning to. But,
Yeah.
but that was at the beginning a lot. I bring Finn to work every single day, my pup.
Oh,
And our thing is if we're mad at each other, we don't want to discuss it in the office because we have very thin walls. And he'll just come in and be like, I think we need to take Finn on a walk. I'm like, yeah, I think we do too. And then we'll go outside, walk, and we'll have our little discussion.
yeah, that's
And
smart. And it's hard though to turn that off sometimes. I mean, Bill and I've been in the office where like personally at home, we got in an argument or something, something's going on. And it's like, we're not thrilled with each other at the moment, but guess what? We both have a job to do and a business to run. So we're going to go to work and do it. But it's just kind of like, go in your office, close your door. I'll go in my office, close my door. Because it's not fair. You don't want your team at work to feel
Feel it.
your personal life. Like they don't need to, it's no one's business, first of all. And
Mhm.
two, it's not fair to have them feel, a
Awkward.
negative energy or like awkwardness or anything like that. It's like, it's the last thing you want for your team. So it's like, on your home face, okay.
Mom and
So,
dad are fighting today.
yeah, mom and dad are fighting, but everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Well, we had an issue with that. So we had, not that we were fighting, but I guess people don't realize when you discuss things that some people do think that's you fighting with each other
Right,
when you're
right.
just talking about something, just
Mhm.
like this, no raising voices, just literally having a conversation. One of our teammates, she really thought we were fighting at one point, and she's like, "Are you guys okay?" This and that. And I'm like, "Yeah, we're fine. Like, this is how we have conversations. We're just talking." So we had to
Mhm.
watch more in the office on us just literally talking about a certain topic or something around certain people because it would make them feel uncomfortable, or I guess have doubts in the company too. You have to think about that.
Mhm. Exactly. Slippery slope.
And it doesn't help that me and Daniel share an office. So I
Oh
can't just close the
no,
door.
I could not. I think no, I don't think anybody could ever share an office with Bill. He's on the phone 24/7. So like no one would get any work done, first of all.
Well, the caveat to that, he does a lot of site visits and meets with people, so he's probably only here half the day or
Yeah.
just in and out. So it's really my office.
Oh, that's nice.
Just kidding. But yeah.
Oh, so I had a question. Let me think about it. I'm sorry, guys.
You're fine.
No, you're fine.
You talk about the personnel, listening in on your conversations and everything. What about do they like think he's mean to you sometimes? Like things like that. Is that how?
Yeah, that was the reason she got
Don't pick on him.
upset.
Yeah.
She thought he was being really mean to me in a conversation. And again, it's the way me and Daniel talk to each other. It might be normal for me and him, where I'm joking, he's joking. I understand what he's saying, whereas she doesn't. And so to me, I don't think it's offensive or he's being mean at all. But that was part of it, is that she thought he was being mean to me and didn't like it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she said something. I appreciated her like sticking up for me, but it's like, it's okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's true because we see a side of them they may not see, or when they're talking to other employees, like, hey, you're kind of rude over there. Like, no, I wasn't. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, you were. So
And they're gonna think their boss is rude to his wife. It's all bad.
Oh,
Oh,
it
funny.
is.
And that
So y'all
is,
have any big projects on the horizon?
we do. We have so there was a lot on Marco that sold for a record price. It sold just for the dirt alone, $11 million. Yeah, and
wow.
the people who bought that lot hired us to build their house. So that's going to be really cool. They just finished up in architecture, and this house is going to be insane. It's like 9,000 square feet under air alone. And so it's the largest that, I think that makes it the largest that we've built. I'll have to double check with Bill, but I'm pretty sure for under air, that would be the largest. We've definitely hit 9,000 and up total. But under air, I think that's the largest, but it's gonna be
What's under air?
under like AC, under like
Oh,
inside
okay.
9,000 square feet inside, not including outdoor living, like the pool deck, other lanais, balconies, so on.
We learned
So
something.
Yeah, see, there you go. So that's really exciting. It's definitely going to be a statement house, very modern. We're a lot of our clients like more coastal contemporary look. The exterior of this house is very, very modern. So I'm really excited because it's different. That's most of the houses on Marco are like that coastal contemporary type of look. Houses that are like this modern you see more often in Naples. So this will definitely stick out on Marco, and it'll be really good for us business wise, with that being our build. So I'm pretty excited about that. The plans just finished up and I was looking over them with Bill and I was like, holy cow, this house is going to be insane. Like it's going to be crazy. So I'm really excited about that. What about you guys? Do you have anything fun coming up?
I was just trying to think of something, and honestly, nothing's like popping in my brain that we've got something crazy
I know
fun.
so much of the time it's kind of just like another day, we're still just riding it out, it's still going, and then randomly fun stuff will pop up. So
Mhm. We're planning our quarter 2 outing with all of our team members and stuff. So we do an outing every quarter of the year. So we're planning our second one. So it's exciting. That's fun, exciting.
yeah, that is. Yeah, I just planned for our team just like a halfway through the year little celebration. We're gonna do like a team happy hour. We did Top Golf, I think, for Christmas or like the end of the year event
Yeah.
last year. So just do a little celebration of, making it halfway through the year so far and surviving. So that's good.
So is that for your direct employees or is that for your subs and vendors and suppliers?
Just our direct employees, just our team within RK Ryman. So it'll be fun. I think is there 10 of us total? So it'll be a good little crowd, do a little team happy hour, have some fun with them rather than just make them work all the time.
Mhm.
And y'all are both going to be in Denver in a few weeks?
Yeah. I will.
I am not. I will be missing it, but I'll be in the Tampa one in January.
Okay. Well, we will miss you.
I know. I'll miss everybody too. I'm so sad to miss it, but honestly, with Will right now, it's not ideal. He's still napping 2 times a day, and they're 2 hours. I'd just be in the hotel room constantly. Long story short, so it's just not ideal right now. So I'm sad, but it's all right. It's the season of life that I'm in. Is what it is.
Enjoy it. I mean, I know sometimes it gets like, but enjoy it. It goes
Yeah.
by so fast.
I know that's what everyone says. So I'm just soaking it all up as much as I can while he's still this little. So, but you're going, Kelsey, you and Daniel.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, just me and him this time. We're not bringing anyone. So we're excited. We'll probably go up like Thursday and come home. I think I said Monday, something like that. I don't remember what it was. But
Yeah, I'm
nice little-
bummed. I've never been to Colorado, so I was excited to see it, but that's okay.
It's okay. All right, ladies. Well, thank you for joining us today. And I'm glad we had our talk.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
wait for the next one.
Well, I can't
boy.
wait. It's very nice to see you guys.
All right, it's good to see you guys. Take care.
See ya.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye, Joyce. Take
Have
care.
a great night. We'll see
Right.
most of you in Colorado. Liz, we'll miss you, girl.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Welcome to the TCS Women Podcast, where the ladies of the top contractor school are going to get together to discuss what it's like to be a woman in construction, leadership, and navigating the balance between it all. Your host for the TCS Women's Podcast will be Carla Goldammer, who has been in construction for almost 30 years with D&J Site Construction. She will be accompanied by a rotation of co-hosts that include Elizabeth Reinman of RK Reinman Construction, Sandra Albert of Bay Country Contractors, Lillian Calloway of K&L Industries, and Kelsey Wright of Pro Line Parking Lot Maintenance. Let's get started.